stuff, bro. Anytime I reference a dog, don't feel free to zoom on her, bring it back up. One of those things you're gonna start learning how I frame stuff. Normally, when I frame stuff too, when you shoot somebody, I'll show you. So, like when I'm shooting him right here, like for example, if I use him right here, it's a good frame. I want our face typically to be right here. I don't want it to be here because then what happens when it pops up on your screen, this number bar actually covers the face. So you want to watch the frame. And anytime you're looking at the screen, where are you looking at? You're looking right in this box right here, right? All the time. So anytime you frame, you're recording someone, this is how you want to frame those to where your eyes are right in this area of your head. So you right up on them. Come over here. So if I was right up on him like this, I'm still not going to get him to where I cut off his hair. I'm going to take a half a step back and I want to make sure his face right in this area because that's what people are going to gravitate on the screen. So just little things like that, man. Those little things that make a big difference. And I guarantee you'll see a difference in your engagement, especially when you create movement. That's why anytime you see me when I'm recording trap, I'm in, I'm out, and Doug, when you stand here, it's stale, right? When you create movement, just like you heard that one motherfucker who did a video, like, yo,
the TikTok was dancing?
The TikTok dancing.
On me.
On me
You start moving the camera on God.
This is what it looks like. He's like, yo, nigga,
on me.
Shit. But then the moment it starts, the thing starts
whole
shaking,
video looked clean.
Video looked lit. Like, oh, damn, like, I just came up with this dance. So, like,
that's crazy.
So movement is key, man. You don't want to, just like I said, be still because anybody can put up a tripod and just stand there.
Me.
But that's why also think about the next time you're watching Trev's videos, think about the reason why you're watching because it's never just one position.
That shit engaging.
It's engaging because I'm also moving with his voice. I know him well enough. I know his cadence now, so I can know when he's about to go up in tone.
On me.
I know when his tone's about to pick up. So when his tone picks up, you'll see I'll zoom in, and when he's about to go back down, I'll put right back out. So I just know him well enough in terms of how he speaks that I'm able to keep the camera moving with the inflection of his voice.
That shit fire. Real teamwork type shit,
bro. So it's all about mastering, your craft and knowing your role. So attributes and that's important. So or give us attributes and tools you need to be a successful handler.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Sure.
All right, so my man PDK9's Malachi back with another question. And what question do you have next, my man?
What attributes and tools do you need to be a successful handler?
Attributes and tools. Now, I think this is a loaded question because there's a few different ways that you can go about this. But one thing that I would say that I've learned personally, especially over the past few years working with all these knuckleheads, is time, energy, and effort. I think time, energy, and effort is probably going to be the most three important things that you're always going to need up front. Now, yes, you'll need treats. Yes, you'll need a tug, a ball, a rope, a leash, a crate, all those little things. But I think the top three things that you need for sure when working with any dog for that matter, especially if you have a dog that's a working breed, you're going to need the time, you're going to need the energy, and you're going to need the effort. If you're not willing to put forth those three things, then I can guarantee you your dog is going to run your house and it's going to become a headache, and that's how they end up in the shelter, people. But just saying, most people are going to expect, oh, get a leash, oh, get some treats, oh, get a rope. Yeah, that stuff works. Cha-cha. Yeah, that stuff works. But the reason why she's able to sit here and listen, sit, down, not. The reason why her down's even getting better, not, stay, is because of the time, energy, and effort that I spend with her every single day. Whether it be 3 to 5 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, 2 3-minute sessions a day. That's what it takes is time, energy, and effort. Yes, good girl. Oh, not very mama. Good girl, mama. Good girl. Remember, dogs feel that energy, so don't be afraid to show them love. Remember, Super Bowl Sunday, celebrate all those little things. But as I've said now a few different times, time, energy, and effort. Stay tuned, people. Take care of your dogs.
Man, take care of your dogs.
Girl, cha-cha.
All right. Triangle of communication.
Triangle of communication says dog.
I would say, can you break down the triangle of communication to us? Dog, owner, and trainer.
The triangle of communication between dog, owner, and trainer.
That's crazy.
I'll take a stab at it, though. I'll take a stab at it. This will be entertaining.
I mean, we could just do the last one. How do you train the owner?
I mean, it all ties into the last one. It all ties into the last one.
But
yeah, I got you.
How you want me to ask?
So you said, how do you
Can you break down the triangle of communication
Oh,
between the dog,
I got you,
trainer,
I
and
got you.
owner?
I got you. Yeah, you ready? Okay, you ready?
All right, bet.
All right, so he just asked a really good question, and I had to think about it for a second. Oh, you're good. You're good, man. Hey, you're good. Hey, speak up in those moments. I'm glad you did. I appreciate that. I hate to get 2 minutes in of a banger. Oh, ain't no
Man.
sound. Are you good now? All right, ready? All right, so I'm a guy Malachi from PDK9 just asked another great question. I had to think about it for a second. I was like, I don't know. I got to take a stab at it, but I was like, you know what? I actually think I have a good idea. And so the question was,
Could you break down the triangle of communication for us between the dog, trainer, and owner?
so I think there's a big misconception, and I learned this too because I'm coming from literally being an amateur pet parent who used to get rescues and stuff like that from the shelter and not knowing anything about understanding the importance of knowing a dog in the first 2 years, all that stuff. Anyways, the point of saying that is that there's a big misconception when people send their dog to someone like Stan to get their dog for their dog trained to become like Rocco or Boots or any of the dogs that Stan trains, and then they think that when the dog comes back, that it's automatically going to be able to do all the things that they see on TikTok, YouTube, or even on Top Dog where they see Stan, right? And that is not the case because you also, as the handler, have to understand how to communicate with the dog as well too. So yeah, Stan knows how to communicate with the dog. He understands everything that the dog can do, but now it's his job to communicate that with you and help bridge that gap between you and your dog. And then now you got to understand how to communicate what it is that Stan had taught them. So it's not like, oh man, he went to Stan, comes back when I say, hey, go to the bathroom. He's going to go to the bathroom. Stan might have said, hey, he might have trained him to say, go outside and use the restroom. See, the bathroom and restroom, two different words. So what you're communicating often also might not be the same thing. So you might be say, hey, sit down. When Stan might have trained the dog to say, hey, just sit. He could just say, hey, see, sit, right? But if I said, sit down, she might not do it, right? So when you do send your dog to a board and train or do your dog to get trained, know that you also have to learn as well too, because what he may be communicating to the dog and what you may be communicating to the dog are two different things.
Totally
So
different.
that's where the circle of communication between dog, handler, and owner, or dog, handler, and trainer all come together because now the trainer, it's their responsibility to help guide you through that process on everything that they taught the dog so that you guys have a better understanding. Hey, sit. Take care of your dogs, people. Yes, good girl.
And
That was the last one.
how do you train the owner?
This is gonna be going, ready? Yep. All right. Last question of the day, and this is a good one because I was like, you know what? I can definitely relate to this. He asked, and once again, we're back with my guy Malachi from PDK9s. He asked, how do you train the owner? And that's a very good question because I think the one thing I've learned about dogs teach you most importantly about yourself. That is something I learned about myself early on when working with Nala, and then turn around working with Baloo, and then working with Gia, and then working with Tut, and then working with Junior and Maya, and then Ego and Tron, and then Cha Cha, and the list goes on and on and on. They all teach you something about yourself. So how do you train the handler? That's one of those things is like, yo, what are you doing with your dog to build that line of communication? Because if you're not sitting there taking that time to build that bond, build that line of communication, that's going to be very difficult for you to learn because you just want the dog to go do this, go do that, go do this, go do that. If that's the case, then just teach them to go do this, go do that, go do this, go do that. But if you're not willing to take the time to put forth that effort, it's going to be very difficult for you to get the dog to do the things that you want to do. So remember, as I said before, time, energy, and effort is required when building your dog. And that most importantly comes from you before you go to a trainer like Stan or you go to someone like Malachi or Trev or myself and so on and so forth. But I think the way you train the trainer is the way you train the handler, excuse me, is the handler's got to really put that forth, that time, energy, and effort, because if they're at least willing to put forth that time, energy, and effort to learn about their dog, then it gets easier for them to learn the basics when Stan takes them through a process or Malachi takes their dog through a process. They're able to communicate. They're like, oh, that makes sense now. I kept saying sit 5 times versus saying it 1 time. Now that makes sense, but at least you were going through the process to try to learn, right? So make sure you're spending that time and energy and effort because remember, dogs, they don't come pre-assembled. Assembly is required.
Man, might get that tatted.
Good
Damn.
shit, man. Thanks, bro. Ooh, just more like clockwork, bro.
Oh me.
Like clockwork, bro.
Oh me.
Man.
But, hey, did you see how the video be flowing with them? This shit crazy.
You got to, man. You got to.